everyone, and welcome to another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Rhea. I am your host, and I'm very pleased to welcome my co-host, Lee Harris from ATPI Travel. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. We are in the middle of a mini heat wave here in the UK, unheard of. So yeah, enjoying it. I think it's about 24 degrees today. So it's nice and warm and sunny, probably warmer than where you are at the moment, which I don't say very often, Rhea.
It's actually not. It's beautiful here today. And of course, today is the first day of the Palma Yacht Show.
Yeah, which you're going to be attending tomorrow.
Yes.
People can see you in person. So this is exciting news. People should get there. If they're in Palma or in the vicinity, they need to get to the yacht show tomorrow.
No, I was hoping, ultimately that it would be like this little friends and family type thing that, those kind of people that would show up, because I have no friends here. And I only have my son, and I thought the crowd would be really small, but I didn't account for the fact that there's 4 other people on the panel, and they all have their friends and family. And on top of that, there's a lot of people that think this is just going to be funny, so are showing up for the laughs on a Thursday morning before they go to the boat show with popcorn. So it will be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. I would encourage anybody who is there to go and see. I'm sure you'll be brilliant. As much as we jest and I take the mickey, I do actually think you'll be brilliant. So you'll be okay.
I don't know. We'll see. You know what? Anyways, I got to power through. Got to get her done. Like everything else, get her done. Keep on trucking. But Indeed. We've got a lot of things going on in the world of travel right now. Of course, the big one is Spain and Portugal and parts of France, actually, were powerless Monday afternoon straight through. I mean, some places in Portugal are still powerless.
Yeah. So, airports and flights were impacted by the massive power outage in large parts of Spain and Portugal, including Madrid and Lisbon. This started on Monday. Spain's electricity grid operator, Red Electrica, confirmed outages across the country, while national railway company Renfe said the entire national electricity grid was cut off at 11:30 a.m., causing trains to stop and departures to be halted across all stations. Now, power, as we know, has been restored to around 90% of mainland Spain, while about 6.2 million out of 6.5 million homes in Portugal now have electricity again. In the latest update, the Foreign Office have said that power outages which affected Andorra, mainland Spain and mainland Portugal on Monday, the 28th of April, have largely been resolved, but some disruption remains. They are monitoring the situation, and there may still be some travel disruption, so check with your tour operator or airline for more information before traveling. Now, the latest data shows that 205 departing flights and 208 arrivals at Spanish airports were grounded, whilst Portugal saw 185 departing flights and 187 arrivals cancelled. Now, due to the extreme number of flights cancelled or delayed earlier this week, the knock-on effect has been significant. Obviously, airlines trying to play catch-up. This means flight operations are likely still to be affected for the coming days. Anyone travelling to those areas are advised to reach out to the respective airline or travel provider.
What I find interesting is because it was Portugal, Spain, and parts of France, those flights that were in the air when this power outage occurred, there's no close place for them to land.
No.
Because that whole section of Europe is dark.
Indeed. I know. It's interesting, isn't it? I don't quite know what they do at that point. I'm sure they've got backup systems and all the rest of it, and it's all okay. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to see what would potentially happen.
Well, they said it was a weather anomaly. We're lucky I'm in the Balearic Islands and we're a separate power grid. So we didn't have an issue with our power, but our internet was kind of patchy from about 5 o'clock on and then went out completely around 7. Once in a while, it would zip back up again and you get all excited that you could start working again and then it'd be gone and you'd be really frustrated. Yeah. So I went to bed early that night and woke up the next morning and it was all fine again. But yeah, I mean, it makes you, I see a lot of people commenting on the fact that it sort of took everybody back to the 1990s and they had to, go about doing what they normally did. I mean, who has cable TV anymore? Who has, phones that work via a line in the wall anymore? I mean, none of this stuff any of us still have. So we do rely upon the internet and upon electricity. And yeah, there was just no way, and even no way, because when it first happened for us here with the internet, I spent probably a good hour trying to beat up my Wi-Fi box.
Yeah, you're right.
As I'm sure most people did.
Yeah, I find it's interesting, isn't it? Because we are so reliant on technology and Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So, and I think it's the first time I've ever heard of a weather anomaly taking out such large areas all in one go. Not just areas, but I mean we're talking separate countries being taken out. So I find it very interesting. And like I said, I've never heard of a weather anomaly taking out such a large area. And it's almost like it shows what it would be like if, heaven forbid, there ever is a massive cyber attack of what people would have to deal with.
Well, I think it's something that we have to prepare for. And ironically enough, there was one power company. First thing the next morning when my internet came on, I had Hola Luz. And I thought, BASTARDS. When everybody was suffering and it couldn't do anything, whatever, their marketing team, smart on one hand as well, their marketing team was sitting back going, how can we capitalize on this situation? The first email I got, it was selling battery options for 13,000 euros or a smaller one for 4,000 euros. And I thought that's, there's no empathy in that whatsoever, but as well, that's brilliant business.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's brilliant business, isn't it? I mean, that's the time people are going to jump on it if they're, worried it's going to happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, fingers crossed. And, come September, I'm heading back to Canada. So we power ourselves. We've got a hydro dams and shit. So we're good to go.
You are good to go. Yeah, you need to be with the extreme weather conditions you're going to be facing. I think at that point, I can say my weather is going to be better than yours when you're sitting at about -20.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, come May of every year where I'm moving, it's like the desert country in Canada. It's the wine country. So come May, when the sun's shining, we have beautiful weather straight through until about the beginning of October, and the rest of the year sucks.
Nice. Make the most of those 5 months.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I think my son will be old enough in about a year's time that I'll only have to suffer through one full winter of being in Canada, and then I can escape.
Good idea. Sounds like a good plan.
Summers in Canada, winters anywhere else that has a palm tree.
Well, you could just follow the yacht shows around and be on more panels. That's what you could do.
No. Oh, no. I had a phone call this morning and somebody said to me, so what time does the Palma show start this morning? I thought, why would I know? The only thing that I know about the Palma show is that I have to be there tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for the breakfast and then for the panel. The rest of it, it's not even in my purview.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is what it is. KLM has some news.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So KLM has announced its return to Barbados, with the Dutch airline once again offering a direct connection to the Caribbean country from October the 26th. Returning to the destination it had served until March 2023. Now, according to the carrier, the island nation is one of the most underserved markets in the Caribbean from the Netherlands, which enables Dutch and the European nations travellers to escape the continent. This obviously is very good news for the Caribbean season later this year, allowing European crew another route into the Caribbean, which, as we all know, can be difficult and pricey compared to other seasons like the Med, for example.
Yeah, and Delhi airport chaos.
Yeah, on Tuesday, Delhi International Airport issued an advisory stating that due to a shifting wind pattern in the vicinity of the airport, certain airline operations may experience delays. Now, over 400 flights scheduled to arrive at Delhi's International Airport have been delayed for the past 2 days due to shifting wind patterns. That's according to FlightRadar24.com, a live flight tracking website. Now, the airport in recent times has been facing flight delays also due to the easterly winds and also the closure of one runway for upgrade works. On Tuesday, Delhi International Airport issued an advisory stating that due to a shifting wind pattern in the vicinity, certain airline operations may experience significant delays. The advisory is warning that flights will be delayed at the airport until at least May the 4th. Now, any crew arriving and departing from India, please make sure to check your connections onwards due to the potential delay of your outbound flight from Delhi.
And Thailand has some news. You know, that place I'm going to be spending my winters.
Yeah. Where are you going to be from October? From the 1st of May 2025, all travellers arriving in Thailand must complete a digital arrival card within 3 days of their trip. So if you're heading to Thailand from Thursday this week, you'll need to complete a new mandatory digital card before entering the country. This replaces the traditional paper-based arrival card for international arrivals. Thailand's move to the TDAC mirrors initiatives by other countries such as Singapore and Malaysia, where digital entry cards have already replaced physical forms. You can submit your TDAC up to 3 full days before your scheduled arrival date. So, for example, if you're touching down in Thailand on the 6th of May, submission is available from 3rd of May onwards. Now, the TDAC captures information previously requested via the now obsolete paper, which will comprise of full name, date of birth, nationality and passport details, your occupation and contact details, date of arrival, flight number and purpose of trip, date of departure and flight number, accommodation address in Thailand, and the list of countries you have visited in the last 2 weeks. Now, failure to comply with the digital arrival card could result in delays on arrival in Thailand or airlines refusing to board you at your departing airline.
Wow. That's a lot of information they want.
That is a lot of information they want. Yeah. Apparently, it's the same as what used to be on the paper card, but it's just now got to be digital. So you just need to make sure you do it, as you can't do a paper one on the plane like you used to be able to.
And Lufthansa Group.
Yeah, Lufthansa Group has introduced an AI solution aimed at reducing food waste in MIG. That's following its introduction in Frankfurt almost a year ago. The solution is a tray tracker and works by scanning plates in the dishwashing line in airports post-flight and analysing leftover food before marking it as untouched, partially eaten or completely eaten. Results will be analysed along with the flight route, travel class and new item. Lufthansa says the data will be used to optimise portion sizes and menu options, meaning that this will reduce CO2 emissions due to the reduced total weight on board. Lufthansa hopes to roll out the technology in other locations in the future. Now, since 2023, the group has had a sustainability initiative in place to reduce waste, whereby passengers on European flights to Frankfurt and Munich can purchase and sold in-flight food at a discounted price.
Well, I mean, I could solve their issue straight off. Just make the food edible.
Some poor, I don't mind. I don't mind airline food. I quite enjoy it, I've got to say.
Well, that's because you cook for yourself. Come on. But realistically,
I mean, it's probably an upgrade on cooking.
Reminds me of you don't have it here, but back home in Canada 20 years ago, you could go and buy those frozen dinners, right? And you put them in the microwave. The microwave, I think it was. And then you eat exactly the same. It's like these frozen bits of food covered in plastic. You unwrap the plastic, you stick it in the microwave. It's like mush. It's like powdered mashed potatoes. And it's the worst stuff in the world. But that's what airline food is like. It's like, I don't know.
Be interesting to see what you think your meal like when you fly back together. I want a report on your meals.
I'll take a photo of every single one. And I'll give it a rating between 1 and 10. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a plan.
Because I'm sure the world is really interested in seeing multiple photographs of multiple plates of airline food and a rating from little old me.
To be fair, if people are prepared to pay money to look at people's feet on the internet, I reckon you've got probably a market there.
I don't have OnlyFans, sorry. So anyways, Lee, I want to say thank you.
You can have OnlyFans.
Right. I have to tell everybody that Lee's information will be below this interview when it airs. If you have any questions whatsoever in regards to travel, you're looking to travel in the future, please do get a hold of him. Lee, thank you.
Always a pleasure. And see you next week.
You've been watching another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Rhea. I have been your host. And on behalf of Lee and myself, we'll see you again next week.